only a few short weeks ago when Peoria's chief of police called on the men in our community to show up for the kids at Manual High and then other schools across the city, emphasizing the importance of positive male figures. And with that same drive and passion, Charles Miner, owner of Think Training Center, is inviting men to come together for a conversation. Charles Miner joins me now with insight on what he plans to discuss. Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. So first and foremost, I want to hear more about your organization, Think, and I see it's an acronym.
Okay. Yes, Think stands for There's Hope in New Knowledge. We started this back in 2013. We actually started this program at Ward Chapel AME Church with just 5 youth and their parents. And it just grew from that to where we are now in Northwoods Mall.
Okay, so what exactly do you all do?
Well, basically, we work a lot with the court system, DCFS, so unfortunately, for those who have to take courses in anger management, domestic violence, parenting, or even grief, they can come there to get these services if they choose to from other organizations that do that work. So we are totally community-based, trying to give a little bit back to the community.
And you're calling on that community, the men specifically, the dads, the uncles,
Yes.
the brothers, the cousins, to come together for a conversation. What will you all be talking about?
We're going to get very deep. We're going to be talking about, the title is Where's My Daddy? And we're talking about biological dads first, trying to get young men and men in general to get back into their kids' life and what that might look like. We know that there are surrogate fathers out there who do great work, you know, but the whole goal to that, we've just seen recently at the manual, and it goes on and on nationally. You know, we're working this program actually across the country. So Peoria is just stop one. It's going to be implemented in St. Louis, East St. Louis, Chicago, New York. We have about 6 cities that we're starting to do pilots. So this Saturday will just be the first one here, just for us to have shop talk. And that was the reason why we didn't bring the women on this first one, but we're going to come back and get you ladies in October.
You don't want anyone to feel left out.
We don't want you to feel left out, but we need to talk to the men first and kind of lay a groundwork with just talking with guys.
Absolutely, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I want you to expand. Why is it so important, based off these current events, to have this discussion now?
It is very important. You know, with all this going on, we have to, men have always been labeled, rightfully, as the head. And in my opinion, if the men are leading properly, women will follow. We have a young lady, to just answer your point, who's going to be part of the panel. She's 26, and she's going to talk about how her judgment in men have been for her by not having her father. And we need these. You know, we have a lot of great organizations here in Peoria that do a lot of great work. But then at the end of the day, they go back home. And we need to be able to get better understanding about it in the home. Unfortunately, even with all these statistics that I have, even for here in Peoria, they're all mostly ran by single households. And the women need help too. That's not putting men down by no stretch. So this is why we want to talk to men and find out, was your father in your life? That could be an issue just from that. We know that relationships might have went sour between the man and the female. We get that. But there are other options. That's why we're going to have a family's attorney there to talk about what your rights are. We're also going to have a psychologist there to work with us on our mental components to that, so we can get whole, you know, and give you tools that you can do. Like, if maybe your son or daughter don't want you in their life, they don't want to deal with you, okay, well then you can write them a letter, you know, because we still have to look at genetics, because if anything goes sour, they're going to look at the biological dad, biological mom for those traits. So it's going to be so much that we're going to, but it's going to be a good session too. We want men to leave with some takeaways. We will do follow-ups. So we want to get the men before we bring the men and women together.
Absolutely. It sounds like it's going to be a life-changing conversation, and I'm so grateful that you're providing that space for the men in our community. So for those who want to ensure that they're in the room, when and where is this taking place?
It's going to be this Saturday at the Northwoods Mall in the Think Training Center on the upper level next to J.C. Penney's from 10 to 12. We want every man to come out and have a good time. We'll have light refreshments and have shop talk.
Well, Charles Miner, thank you so much for coming in and hosting this amazing event.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime.